Hello, party people. It's Thursday night. Parshas Vayeira. Vayeira begins with a fascinatingly, I would say, well, first of all, you know when a guy starts off with Vayeira with talking about the beginning of the Parsha, that's a guy who probably didn't learn much of the Parsha. So that's first of all. Don't forget that. Second, Vayeira begins with what to me is unique. Avraham Avinu is nursing his very sore penis after the circumcision that he just had at the end of last week's Parsha, assisted by a fellow named Mamre. And Avram is recovering in Elonei Mamre. So Mamre's property, he's hanging out there. It's the third day, Rashi says, and it hurts and it's uncomfortable and it's probably hot outside. It is hot. We know it's hot outside. We know that the Mefarshim say Hashem made it hot so that not too many travelers would be out, so that Avram wouldn't be compelled to go take care of them and thereby not take care of himself physically. It's hot. Like, a guy knows, right? A guy knows, has some concept of what this is going to feel like, and it's going to be rough. Anyway, Avram is taking care of himself and recovering, and the way that Rashi says it anyway is that unbidden, Hashem comes to be Mavakar Cholim, to visit the sick. Vayeira love Hashem ve'elonei mamre. Hashem appears to Avraham in Elonei Mamre. It seems that we don't have so many times. Well, first of all, it's extremely few, if any, times that that Hashem communes with a human being just like regular, just like chilling, just like coming over for tea type of thing. That's very seldom. Even more seldom is that it's God initiated, right? So God comes over. Literally, imagine you're sitting there after surgery, you can barely walk, and and you hear a knock on the door, and you go and open the door, and somehow, like, you have the sense, like, God is here just to, say hi and just, tell you, he loves you and hopes you feel better soon, and maybe God brings you some chicken soup, or I think if I lived in Avram's tent, I think I would want iced lemonade. Maybe Hashem brings Avram iced lemonade. But the point is, Hashem initiates this. Hashem shows up. Vayeira love Hashem. Hashem shows up to Avram in Elonei Mamre. And then there's these three malachim, as if God doesn't know, right? The whole thing is very fascinating. Anyway, three malachim, and Avram doesn't know that they're malachim. Avram thinks that they're guests, right? And Avram gets up and ushers them in, and then Avram says, I don't remember the exact language, but Avram says basically, sit here for a minute while I go take care of, I'm going to go get some victuals to give you, but Rashi and Unklis says very interestingly. Rashi says it's a machlaikas. Rashi says could be Avram's talking to the malachim, to these travelers, these guests that he has, asking them to just chill for a while he gets his stuff, the food, etc. But the other opinion of Rashi is that Avram's talking to Hashem. That Avram says to Hashem, listen, just again imagine this, right? Listen. I'm so glad you're here, and it means so much to me that you came. But I have these guests I need to take care of. Would you do me a favor? Please don't leave. Sit down for a minute. Hang out here for a minute, and don't leave. And I'm going to go take care of the guests, but I'm going to come back, and we're going to hang out. Right? It's such an intimate, informal, friendly interchange between Avram and Hashem. And so Unklis is fascinating. Unklis translates there's the word Adonai, and according to the first opinion that Avraham is talking to the travelers, he says, like my masters, like gentlemen, hang out here for a minute. But Unclus, and then there's also this second opinion, Rashi says, has Hashem's name. That really Avram is speaking to Hashem, and it's like such a friendly, relaxed way. So I think it's fascinating when you think about when I want to connect with God, that is a very solemn, I don't know, solemn, but it doesn't have to be solemn, but it's an experience that's very intentional on my part. But I wonder, maybe God visits us. Maybe God visits us all the time. Maybe that's the story. Maybe God visits us. Maybe God is visiting me right now. Maybe I'm visiting you right now. Maybe the God that is within me is meeting the God, is visiting the God that is within you right now.